Number one, don't run away. And number two, be honest to yourself. Those two things, you should keep them in mind. And then just put time, effort into practice, I think is the key to step-by-step build something up about yourself, about your life, about your character and personality that will give you some strong fundament. There's a quiet kind of loneliness that doesn't come from being rejected. It comes from outgrowing places that you once belonged to. It's when the conversations don't hit the same anymore, when the noise feels too heavy, when you realize that you'd rather be alone than feel misunderstood by a room full of people. And at first you think that there's something wrong with you. You wonder why suddenly life begins to feel so still, so silent, so empty. But sometimes that silence isn't punishment. It's protection. It's life slowing you down so you can finally hear your own thoughts, so you can finally sit with yourself long enough to understand who you are without the influence and without the pressure, without the comparison. Not every season is meant to be loud. Some seasons are meant to strip you to your core so that when the noise returns, you don't lose yourself from it again. Hey bro, please bro, do me a favor bro. Listen, I need you to stop beating yourself up. I need you to stop beating yourself up because you're doing just fine. I promise you you're doing great. And honestly, I need you to keep going because I'm counting on you. You've been working. You've been consistent. You've been seeing results. But you wake up, be negative, and move around. Stop. You're doing just fine, bro. I need you to start waking up and acting like you're him because you are. Stop moving like that, man. Keep going, dog. I believe in you. I just keep losing. I mean, some people just supposed to lose for balance in the universe. I mean, like, are there just some people on earth who's supposed to be here just to make it easier for the winners? Like, really, resistance is a symptom of the way things are, not the way things necessarily should be. Actual victory belongs to things that simply do not see failure. Let the path push you like a broken branch in the river's current. Well, the problem that most of us have is we think that we're all alone. We think that we're the only ones going through all this stuff. I thought your vision becomes very narrowed. And what happened to me was all I did was I peeled back. I peeled back and I was able to get on top of a mountaintop in my head. And when you're high on that mountain, you have a great vantage point. And I was able to look down at the world, and all of us are jacked up. Some of us hide it better than others, but we're all jacked up. And once you realize that, you got to come out of your shell, you got to accept who you are, you got to accept the demons that life gave you, that maybe you gave you, whoever gave them to, you got to accept that. You got to be able to look them in the mirror, look them in the eye, say, okay, I'm going to start fixing these things. But if you think that you're by yourself, the reality of your life becomes very, very horrible. And you're not. We are all jacked up. And once you realize that, man, you don't even look at the crowd anymore. You look at your own race. You do your own race. You do your own thing. And you finally found out who you're supposed to be in this life. If you are struggling to find fulfillment, please watch this. Not everything is going to make sense all the time. Not everything is going to feel right all the time. There is so much uncertainty that comes along with this journey, and we're not even 100% sure where we're going to end up. But that's not the point. If we were certain of these things, if we always performed at our best, if we never struggled, there would be no journey. You must shift your focus back to your process. Because your process is your fulfillment. It is your rock, your constant. Stop trying to find fulfillment. Realize that it's yours if you want it. The person who never needed to be told to do the right thing, to the person who has all the motivation in the world, the person who knows they will be successful. I'm sorry. I know your future ahead is an amazing one, but I also know your problems never had the luxury of relatability. Almost everyone in this world is an obstacle to themselves, but they sure have company in their struggle. While your struggle is a lonely road, you know it pays off. I don't even have to tell you that. But I promise you, I understand you are relatable to those that'll do big things. And it is okay that that comes in small quantity. But as you grow, you lose certain homies because it's called closing the gap. This is the gap when we started. This is the gap as you grow. Notice how you grow and they don't. So how do you close the gap? You got to come back down. When you come back down, you lose. So you got to keep going up. That's why closing that gap got to be them catching up to you. And if they don't catch up, you got to leave them behind because you get into the point now where you got to start cutting out. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you can't look back when you cut them out. Because if they're meant to be there, they're going to be there. Our music deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We were all meant to shine as children do. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. If you're going to try, go all the way. Otherwise, don't even start. If you're going to try, go all the way. This could mean losing girlfriends, wives, relatives, jobs, and maybe your mind. Go all the way. It could mean not eating for 3 or 4 days. It could mean freezing on a park bench. It could mean jail. It can mean derision, mockery, isolation. Isolation is the gift. All the others are a test of your endurance or how much you really want to do it. And you'll do it despite rejection and the worst odds. And it'll be better than anything you can imagine. If you're going to try, go all the way. There's no other feeling like that. You'll be alone with the gods and the nights will flame with fire. Do it. Do it all the way. All the way. You will ride life straight to perfect laughter. It's the only good fight there is. You can't see the proper light if you've never indulged in the very, very deepest dark times. It's not negative. It's just something that you usually don't want to dive into when something like this appears. But it's part of this life. There is no way to run around. So to embrace the darkness, one and one goes hand in hand with, on the other side, appreciating the light when it comes. The life you want isn't out of reach. It's just outside your comfort zone. You can't build the life you want if you just keep clinging to the same old patterns. This journey is on you. Sometimes it's going to feel hard, maybe even pointless, but that's where perseverance kicks in. Push through the resistance one day at a time and watch what happens when you refuse to give up on yourself. Music, the Buddha says, being in a state of pain, anxiety, or in a state of suffering comes from attachment. When you're attached to things, attached to people, attached to identities, attached to philosophies, then you end up being in a situation where you experience pain, but you don't have to experience suffering. You live in a state of no expectation, where you're just living life, taking it day by day, step by step, and enjoying yourself. You always have the pain of comparison. It's easy to compare yourself in the age of the internet to other people. The pain of living in the future, right? The pain of what you could be, you should be, but you aren't. You can liberate yourself from a lot of these things by living in the present moment, by being here right now. We may not be able to control everything in our outer world, but we certainly can control our inner world. And so, it's not so important to not react. I mean, everybody reacts. I react. The question is, how long are you going to react? So if you keep an emotional reaction going on for an extended period of time, you're memorizing that emotion, and your body, as the unconscious mind, is believing it's living in the same past experience 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. We become addicted to the very life we don't even like. So it's important then for people to realize then when you have that moment where you have crisis or something breaks down, that you do have control over it, and it's a formula. If you think that everything is too good to be true, you're going to be right 9 out of 10 times. The only issue is that 1 out of every 10 opportunity that could be the one that could change your life. So optimists fail far more than cynics, but eventually they hit a home run. So always keep your guard up, protect yourself, be street smart, but never fully close yourself off to the fact that you might have a life-changing opportunity in front of you. These are words to remember when anyone tries to tell you to give up, tell you to give in, because whatever you're trying to do is impossible. Impossible is just a word thrown around by small men who find it easier to live in the world they've been given than to explore the power they have to change it. Impossible is not a fact, it's an opinion. I'm here to say you will make mistakes along the way, you will fall down. I have many times. But what we do after that fall is how we make history. Because impossible is nothing. If you look at the greats in any walk of life, the greats do things when they don't always want to. And that's the separation. Don't ever be ashamed of anything you've done in your life. Face it, fix it, make it better, build belief, build confidence to the point where nothing can hurt you because you know exactly who you are. You faced your demons, you're able to heal all your past traumas. I'm no longer embarrassed. I'm no longer ashamed. Being ashamed is one of the biggest things that kill people nowadays. What's risky is living your life and never trying for anything and never doing something brave and never getting yourself scared and in a good way. You know, if I see something, I see opportunity, I'm going to go for it. You know what I'm saying? We're all going to die one day. So we live like that. Live like you could die tomorrow. You know, go for it. A lot of people think they have all this time, so they waste it. And they never go out and do what they really set out to do or accomplish or do anything great in their life. You think when you're young that you have all this time. You have no time. There's no time. There is no tomorrow. You know, there is no tomorrow. Let's get all this done today. Contemplate the price you pay for inaction. So I think a lot of the time we presume that inaction has no cost. But inaction does have a cost, because your attention is the most important thing that you have. So contemplate the price that you pay for inaction. It's a justification for you doing things sooner rather than and committing. Every morning when you get up, say over and over to yourself, do it now, do it now, do it now, I do it now, do it now. Whenever you have this tendency to procrastinate, program your subconscious mind with this automatic conditioned command: do it now, do it now, do it now. The key to overcoming procrastination is to develop a sense of urgency. Be the kind of person who gets things done quickly. Be the kind of person who launches fast on a task. Say over and over to yourself, do it now, do it now, do it now. Do you know that less than 2% of the population have a sense of urgency? And that there's not an example of a successful person anywhere who does not have a sense of urgency? That if you just develop a sense of urgency when someone gives you a task, that you get on it and do it fast, that alone will move you into the top ranks in a very short period of time. How do you try to make them understand you when they don't even understand themselves? They judge your actions but don't even care to think about theirs. They criticize your every move while they blindly stumble around. You're trying to garner respect from the wrong peoples. It is apples and oranges. They view reality differently than you do. And every minute you spend trying to sell them on your dream is a minute you are not spending actually trying to achieve it. When you're grateful, you can't be worried. You can't be fearful. When you're grateful, you can't be angry. And anger and fear are what screw people up most in their relationships, in their life, in their business. So I was saying to you that most people want to be happy, but their habit is to be worried or pissed off or frustrated or stressed. And so they've got a highway to stress and they've got a dirt road to happiness. One of my most powerful motivational frames is thinking about the person that I want to become as the destination. And thinking like, I want to be bulletproof. I want to be bulletproof in these ways. I want to be bulletproof in my marriage. I want to be bulletproof in my business, etc. And I think about that man, whoever I want him to be. Like we said, hell is when you look at who you could have been and realize that you're not that person. And then I think, if I were to make that man, what would I put that man through to make him who he is? Like, it wouldn't be easy times. It wouldn't be quick wins. It wouldn't even be easy wins. There would be the toil and the struggle of achieving and reaching for things that are right out of grasp. And so when I'm going through those like really harder times, I like to think of like looking in my mental mirror of like, I'm making you. I'm not there yet, but I'm making you. In 365 days. You'll have another year to look back on. And you could choose right now for it to be a gratifying reflection. Or you could choose to be what your future self looks back on in disappointment. No matter what you do, you'll arrive at that day and you'll come to the realization that time will never wait for you. You see, most people hate their past self, but I guess it's rarely enough to see the self of right now as an opportunity to fix that for the future. Do not outsource pain to your future self. Please make them happy. If you feel out of place because you'd rather work on yourself than settle, then you're exactly where you need to be. Choosing effort over ease won't make you popular, but it will make you powerful. Every small decision to take the harder road adds up. It shapes you into someone who's unstoppable. Most people take the easy way. That's why most people don't stand out. The world doesn't need another follower. It needs leaders who dare to be different. It needs people like you. So don't stop now. Take a journal and start journaling and writing down your thoughts and writing down your dreams. And when I say that, pick up a pen and a journal and write it down. Dreams, I know this sounds woo-woo, but it's not. Dreams are really powerful, very interesting. they're going to tell you a lot about yourself. He's going to tell you about those journeys your brain takes at night that are pretty fantastical. You write that down. You go back into your childhood and you go, what was it that made me so different, that was so weird about me? What was it I was attracted? As you go through that process, things will start coming up and memories will come up, and you'll start connecting to who you were when you were young, and you're connecting to who you were as an adolescent. You should be excited, extremely excited, because this is what all the effort that you put in was for. This is what all the sleepless nights that you spent staring up at the ceiling, wondering if you're delusional, if all this is going to work out, is for. This isn't the end of the line, my friend. I'm not saying that you're going to obtain and achieve everything that you've ever wished for. But what I am saying is that very, very soon you will realize that it's all worth it. You want to achieve your goals, but you're trapped between two realities. Wanting to be disciplined, but not acting disciplined. The only way out is to open the box. Since you open that box by taking action, think about it. How often is it that you dream of getting the results you want, getting fit, building that business, accomplishing something big, but then you stay stuck in the same place, too comfortable to change? You're trapped between desire and hesitation, alive with potential, but not fully real yet. You have to open that box, and you open the box by taking action. So, here's what you're going to do. Next time you procrastinate, next time that excuse pops up, take action instead. Force yourself. Will yourself into motion to get that thing done. And I guarantee you that the second you start doing that is the second you start making progress towards your goals. You don't need a therapist. You need to stop defining normal life as a problem. Growth is stressful. Decline is stressful. Stagnation is stressful. Life is stressful. The only thing that it actually tells you is that you're alive. Because you want to know who lives stress-free? Dead people. The thing about pain is, like, you feel it right now. It's temporary, man. But later in life, you don't remember the pain. You just remember, like, the glory and the good times, that exhilaration of pride and achievement, man. That outweighs all the pain and struggle. Because you push through the pain to achieve the pride, you forget about the pain was even there. But if you can't push through the pain and the pain stops you and breaks you down, well, then that pain can't forever, because you never got pride to outbalance it. Science shows our expectations can drastically affect how we perceive reality. People who believe they are capable of doing something are far more likely to do it. People who believe they will heal from an injury or illness do so quicker and more consistently. The mind is a really powerful thing, and it affects our bodies and relationships in ways that we don't fully understand. This is why the advice to think positive works for so many people. It trains them to expect better things, which then makes those things more likely to happen. Leverage the expectation effect to your advantage. Believe in the impossible, not because it's easy, but because the alternative is settling for less than you're capable of. Convince yourself that you can do it. Even when the odds are stacked against you, that belief isn't just your starting point. It's the fuel that gets you through the days when nothing seems to work. Doubt might visit, but it doesn't get to stay. Because when you refuse to give up on yourself, it's only a matter of time before you win. Have you ever stopped to ask yourselves the tough questions? The ones that truly matter. Not the kind you toss around in passing, but the ones that dig deep into who you are, what you want, and why you're here. The kind that force you to slow down and face the parts of yourself you've been avoiding. Let's face it, most of us live our lives on autopilot. We follow the rules society sets for us. Chase goals that look good on paper and silence the voice inside us screaming for something more. We're told what success is supposed to look like, what happiness is supposed to feel like, and what we're supposed to value. But deep down, many of us feel off. Something doesn't add up. Here's the truth. The quality of your life is determined by the quality of the questions you dare to ask yourself. When was the last time you paused and truly interrogated the life you're living? If you've been feeling stuck, overwhelmed, or even numb, maybe it's time to stop searching for quick fixes and start asking the uncomfortable questions. But let me warn you, the answers won't always be comfortable. They might even scare you. That's okay. Growth isn't supposed to be easy. It happens when you confront the things you've been avoiding, when you strip away the layers of societal conditioning, and when you finally start living for yourself. Take a deep breath. Give yourself permission to be honest. This is about you and no one else. You deserve a life that feels real, not one that just looks good on the outside. Imagine for a moment that money and status didn't matter. Close your eyes and strip away every paycheck, every promotion, every successful image you've crafted for the world. What's left? What would you spend your days doing if money wasn't a factor? Who would you become if society's expectations were no longer weighing you down? For most of us, this question feels impossible to answer. Why? Because we've been conditioned to tie our worth to what we earn and how we're perceived. But let me ask you this. When you were a kid, before you knew what a good job or financial stability even meant, what lit you up? Was it painting, writing story, exploring nature? Think back to a time when your dreams weren't constrained by reality. That's where your truth lives. These desires aren't random, they're clues to what your soul truly wants. And remember, it's never too late to realign your life. You don't have to quit your job tomorrow or throw caution to the wind, but you do have to take that first step toward creating a life that reflects who you really are. How many of your decisions are shaped by what other people might think? Be honest. For most of us, the answer is too many. We're terrified of being judged, misunderstood, or rejected. So we play it safe. We bite our toes. We conform. And in doing so, we silence the most important voice of all, our own. Now imagine for a moment that you didn't care what anyone thought of you. Imagine you could speak your truth boldly, unapologetically. What would you say? Maybe you'd finally tell someone you love them. Or maybe you'd admit that you don't love the life you've built. Maybe you'd stand up for yourself in a way you never have before. Or maybe you'd finally look in the mirror and admit the one thing you've been too scared to say out loud. Just let it out. Because here's the truth. The more you suppress your voice, the more you lose yourself. And the only way to reclaim your power is to start speaking your truth. No matter how scary it feels, happiness, we all chase it. But do we even know what it is? Let me ask you something. When was the last time you felt genuinely happy? Think back. Was it a quiet moment with a loved one, watching a sunrise, losing yourself in a hobby? Happiness isn't found in stuff. It's found in moments. It's found in connection, creativity, and presence. But here's the tricky part. Happiness looks different for everyone. What lights you up might not light me up. And that's okay. The key is to figure out what your version of happiness looks like in stillness. Here's the truth. Happiness isn't something you find. It's something you create. And it starts with knowing what truly matters to you. Once you figure that out, the next step is simple. Do more of it. Success. It's a word we hear constantly. But here's the question most of us never ask. What does success mean to me? For most people, the definition of success is handed to them. It's a good job, a big house, a fancy car, a picture-perfect family. It's climbing the corporate ladder or hitting a certain number in your bank account. While there's nothing wrong with those things, the problem rises when we adopt someone else's version of success without ever questioning it. Let me ask you this. Are you chasing a version of success that actually fulfills you? Or are you chasing what you've been told you're supposed to want? It's okay to feel scared. It's okay to feel unprepared. These emotions are not signs of weakness, they're signs of being human. But don't let them hold you hostage. The courage to face what you've been avoiding is what will set you free. Start small. Maybe today you simply acknowledge what you've been hiding. Maybe tomorrow you take one step toward addressing it. The goal isn't to have it all figured out. The goal is to stop running. Because when you stop running, you give yourself the chance to heal, to grow, and to finally embrace the person you're meant to be. Asking these questions is only the beginning. The real transformation happens when you answer them honestly and then act on those answers. It's not easy. There will be moments when the truth feels too raw, too messy. You'll be tempted to turn away, to fall back into old patterns, to tell yourself, maybe someday. But here's the thing. Someday isn't promised. The only moment you have is right now. So start today. Sit with these questions. Write down your answers. Reflect on them deeply, unapologetically. And then ask yourself, what's one small step I can take towards living a life that feels real? Because that's what this is all about. It's not about perfection or having all the answers. It's about living a life that's aligned with who you truly are, not who the world expects you to be. When you start living authentically, something incredible happens. You stop chasing approval. You stop measuring your worth by external metrics. And instead, you begin to create a life that feels good on the inside, a life that brings you joy, peace, and fulfillment. So take the leap, answer the questions, face the fears, stop and think. What's something really big that you would love to see yourself accomplish? If you were to just roll the clock ahead, a year, 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, 15 years, what is it that you really want? All in love with the process because it is the most beautiful thing in existence. I mean, right now you are in the process of pursuing something extraordinary. You're developing your mind, your skills, and along the way experiencing failure, but then learning from it and continuing forward smarter, stronger, more equipped than the last time. You meet new people, experience new things. Doors open up, and periodically you look back and realize how far you have come. That is beautiful. I think most people feel really lonely when you want something that doesn't currently exist. And so some people call that dreams, some people call that goals, whatever it is you're trying to pull something from your mind into reality and you want it done a certain way. And if it's not done that way, it's not what you imagined. And so people on the outside will throw stones and call you names that they think will change your behavior and get you to stop. Remember that sometimes you will take the wrong turn at life. You take that wrong turn, it leads to a dead end. Now, what are you going to do? You're going to sit there at the dead end and stare at it? Are you going to turn around and figure out which way you're supposed to go? You're going to go through a lot of dead ends in life. You just got to keep it pushing, figure your way out of it. But don't ever just stand still. Life is always going. So if you stand still for too long, life's going to pass by. Majority of people just don't do it. You know, it's like a lot of people want it, but not a lot of people want to do it. So just by taking that one little step, you're separating yourself from the herd. The most important thing is to take action. That is the most, even if it's the wrong action, if you take the wrong step, if you take the first step in the wrong direction, the difference between you and the person who doesn't take a step at all is a worry. You have to take the first step. You have to take some kind of action. Most people are incapable of picking a direction and go, and just go. They observe the possibilities. They get paralyzed by all the possibilities. They refuse to move forward at all the possibilities, and then time passes them by. So it's very important that you make a decision and you go down that path. You commit to that path with the mentality of having zero options. I don't have a choice but to see this through. You know, you're not going to be perfect. Yes, you're going to have times in your journey where maybe you fall off in certain areas, or maybe you're not as disciplined, or you waver a little bit, right? But it's about maximizing the moment that you have right now, right? Having the self-awareness and the self-reflection to be able to catch yourself when you are falling off or slacking in a certain area in your life, and bring yourself back to center, ground yourself where you are, and make the most out of this moment that you have right now. Make the next right decision. Feel like if you don't know where you want to be right now, you just need to ask yourself, what would you like to be doing a year from now? Because if you shorten up how long it takes you to get to where you want to be, it's easier and more attainable. I think when you think about what do you want to do 5 years from now, 10 years from now, it seems like too far to reach. So starting with baby steps really helps you figure out where you really want to see your life go. Not where your friends or family want to see it, but where you want to go. And if you know at least where you'd like to be this time next summer, that should give you a good indication to start looking in that niche, in that field, down that path, like whatever that looks like for you is for you. And only you know that all of us are trying to find something, trying to find meaning, love, contentment, because we feel that something is missing. That's why we're so busy, why we kill ourselves with work, why we can't be still. This drive is what allows us to accomplish things. So it's not all bad. The problem is that when we do accomplish things, we don't feel that much better. Never seems to fill the void. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, you've wandered all over and finally realized that you've never found what you were after. How to live, not in syllogisms, not in money or fame or self-indulgence. Nowhere Ain't that exactly right? What we have to realize is that the answer to our problems is not more. Money, power, renown, these will not satisfy us. We satisfy it simply by living our life as nature demands. That means by being good, by being true to ourselves, by focusing, by not wasting a second wishing anything was otherwise or caring what other people think of us. We just live as well as we can. The fact is, there is something big inside of you. Lean into that. I know that you have huge ambitions, and I want to make sure that you never give up on going for them. That state of a man's life is the day he realizes that nobody's come to save him. If he can know that and feel peace about it and almost be excited about it because he gets to go fight his own hero's journey, he'll win. If you can accept it, he'll win because you take entire responsibility for your life. Too many people give up responsibility in their life, so they point the finger at somebody else. Take responsibility for everything. I'm going to win. I'm going to get up. I'm going to go to work. I'm do the same thing I did yesterday. When you guys think about what it is that creates greatness, and when you think about all the things that you wish you could be and wish you were and wish you could become, you have to understand that that requires effort from you. That requires you doing things intentionally that are going to make you uncomfortable, that are going to help develop skills that you can then apply to any plan that you will follow. Challenge yourself. There's always more things that we could do, that we can face, that we can get things done, but we don't want to do it because it feels scary, it feels uncomfortable, we worry. That's another way. If everything in life is doing well, then that means you're not challenging yourself enough. Feeling lonely. Me too. I feel lonely a lot. But what loneliness is at its core is a lack of understanding of who we really are. When something bad happens, why me? To feel sort of a grievance that things aren't fair, to feel that other people aren't giving you what you want or what you deserve. Start from a position of feeling kind of sorry for ourselves. We deserve more than what we're getting. And so Marathi is very powerful in that you train yourself to accept everything that happens. It's sort of a banality to say that things happen for a reason, but there's some truth to it. For Nietzsche it was, this is life. Life involves pain. Life involves adversity. You're going to die one day. And it's not going to be pleasant. Your friends and family members, they're going to die one day, and it's not going to be pleasant. You're going to have failure in life. People are going to hurt you. But that is life. That's what it is. So to resist that, to be angry about that, means to not love life itself. Well, join an easy crowd. You won't grow. Go where the expectations are high. Go where the demands are high. Go where the pressure is on to perform, to grow, to change, to develop, to read, to study, to develop skills. Go where the demands are high. Go where the expectations are strong so that it'll provoke you pushy urgently. Insist that you not remain the same for the next couple of years, the next 5 years, that you grow and change. The battle is feelings versus discipline. And I hate living according to your feelings. I hate acting according to your feelings. They get you messed up, dude. They jack your life up. They get you in trouble because not all feelings are good. You cannot live your life based off of your feelings. Feelings do not equal reality. Feelings do not equal results. It won't get harder. This is the hardest part. And so if you can just make it through this, everything else is downhill. It's not that the things that the dragons are going to slay aren't going to get bigger. They are, but you become so much more equipped to slay them back. And you have so many more allies. You have people in the stands cheering for you. You have the audience. You have all of these other things that are behind you, but in the beginning it's just you with a stick against a bear. Need you to understand that there is an undeniable power behind belief. And I know that you've never had anybody that's truly believed in you. But I'm telling you that I believe in you. I know that you can overcome your destructive habits, that you could become more confident, you can earn more, you can let go of them traumas that no longer serve you. And you're better than that. I'm saying what if and start saying, why not? Some people are going to live with the what if the rest of their lives, but when I get old, I'm on my deathbed. Man, what if I would have took that chance? What if I would have just started? What if I would have took the first step? Taking the first step got us exactly to where we are today. You take a chance to do that you love, you saw in a dream, can change your life. But exactly where you are right now is always going to be there. It's never going to go anywhere. Your hometown is going to be the same. People are going to be doing the same around you. But a chance for you to get out of where you're at, step out, and take a chance on life. And it could be the best decision you ever made in your life if you can't sit down. And what if sit down your ass and think, damn, what would it be like to be there? Go and do it. The hardest part about change is not making the same choices you did the day before. Now, once people understand that they're going to be uncomfortable, then the question is, what thoughts do you want to fire and wire in your brain? What behaviors will you demonstrate in one day in the act of closing your eyes and rehearsing who you're going to be when you open your eyes? Begins to install neurological hardware in your brain to look like you've already done it. Whatever you're thinking about, that's who you will become, because thoughts lead to actions, actions lead to habits. Habits be the lifestyle, and that lifestyle is what dictates who you are. Here's the reality: bad days are in store for all of us. It's guaranteed, it's the circle of life. So the question we need to ask ourselves is it really worth wasting perfectly good days fearing the bad ones? We'll chase happiness because they think that that's what they need, when in reality, happiness is just a byproduct of becoming the best version of yourself. So instead of chasing the emotion, become the type of person that is experiencing that emotion, and you can be in that state more consistently. If you had to do it all over again, would you make the same choices? A choice. We can't run from who we are. Our destiny chooses us. Fate, destiny. These words get thrown around like there's some kind of magic, like the universe has already laid out a perfect plan for your life, and all you have to do is wait for it to unfold. But let me tell you something. That's not how it works. Destiny isn't something that's handed to you. Fate isn't some predetermined path that's just waiting for you to stumble onto it. If you think it is, you'll spend your whole life waiting, hoping, wondering why things aren't happening for you. That's not destiny, that's passivity. And there's a big difference between the two. Your destiny, your real destiny is out there. It exists, but it's not waiting for you. It's waiting on you, waiting for you to step up, waiting for you to take the first step, waiting for you to stop hoping that life will hand you something and start creating it for yourself. Here's the truth, and it might be hard to hear. The universe doesn't care about your dreams. It doesn't owe you anything. It's not going to put success, meaning, or purpose into your hands just because you want it badly enough. If you want to chase your destiny, you have to be willing to fight for it. You have to be willing to bleed for it. You have to be willing to go to war with yourself for it. And yes, I said with yourself, because that's where the real battle is. It's not the world that's stopping you. It's not the obstacles, the competition, or the circumstances. It's you. It's the voice in your head that tells you you're not good enough. You can't do this. You're going to fail. It's the fear that keeps you small, the doubt that keeps you frozen, the excuses that keep you from taking the risks you know you need to take. But here's the thing about fate. It's not fixed. It's not rigid. It bends to those who are willing to act. It's forged by those who refuse to accept the life that's been handed to them, who refuse to settle for less than what they're capable of. Fate doesn't decide your future. You do. And let's be honest, chasing your destiny is terrifying. It's uncomfortable. It's messy. Because to chase your dreams, to go after the life you want, you have to let go of the life you already have. You have to be willing to step into the unknown, to take risks, to fail, not once, not twice, but over and over again. That's the price of destiny. That's the cost of greatness. Most people aren't willing to pay that price. Most people look at their dreams and think that would be nice, but they're not willing to sacrifice for it. They're not willing to risk their comfort, their security, their ego. And so they stay where they are. They settle. They let their dreams die inside of them, slowly, quietly, until they convince themselves that they never really wanted them in the first place. But not you, not if you're still listening. Because if you're still here, there's something inside you that refuses to settle. There's something inside you that knows you're meant for more. There's something inside you that's willing to fight for it, no matter how hard it gets, no matter how many times you stumble, no matter how much it hurts. And let me tell you, it will hurt. Chasing your destiny will break you. It will push you to your limits. It will force you to confront every fear, every insecurity, every weakness you have. But that's the point. Because destiny isn't just about what you achieve. It's about who you become in the process. It's about the strength you build, the resilience you forge, the person you create through the struggle. You have to understand something. The version of you that's sitting here right now, the version of you that's safe, that's scared, that's comfortable. That version of you cannot achieve your destiny. It's not capable of it. If you want to claim your fate, you have to let that version of yourself die. You have to shed the old you, the weak you, the you that's been holding yourself back. And that's hard. It's painful because growth is painful. Change is painful. But you know what's even more painful? Regret. Looking back on your life and realizing that you let fear win. Realizing that you had a chance to create something incredible and you didn't take it. Realizing that you let the life you could have had slip through your fingers because you were too afraid to reach for it. Don't let that be your story. Don't let fear, doubt, or comfort keep you from chasing your dreams, because your destiny is out there. And yes, it's going to take everything you have to reach it. But isn't that the point? Isn't that what makes it worth it? Fate doesn't favor the passive. It doesn't reward the ones who sit and wait. Fate favors the bold, the ones who step into the fire, the ones who take risks, the ones who fail and rise and fail again, because they know that every failure is a step closer to their dreams. So what are you waiting for? Music, stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting for someone to tell you that you're ready. Music, you'll never be ready. The stars will never align. The perfect time will never come. Your destiny isn't a gift. It's a challenge. It's a test. And the question is, are you willing to face it? Are you willing to do what it takes, no matter how long it takes, no matter how hard it gets, no matter how many times you fall? Because if you are, you're willing to step into the unknown, to fight for your dreams, to claim your fate, then there's nothing in this world that can stop you. Not the obstacles, not the failures, not the doubts. The only thing standing between you and your destiny is you. So stop waiting, start moving, and don't stop until the life you've dreamed of is the life you're living. Your fate is yours to claim, so claim it.